Whoa. Oh my goodness. Yahoo. Could you back up a bit? Yeah, you're a little close. It's I mean, hey, I don't mind too much, but like you're making me a little nervous. Yeah, you're a little close right now. Could you back up? You think I should back up? Well, hold on. Now this is war. Sense hold up. I think you should back up. You back up, punk. Huh? Huh? What makes you think I should be the one to back up? You should back up. Huh? 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 Oh my goodness. You can be so silly sometimes. You are one silly individual. All right, fine. I will back up. Hello. Well, I think this is about right. What is good in your world? Catch me up to speed. How do you feel? What are you up to? How are you doing? Pretty, I know, right? Yeah, my secret is just a little bit of hairspray and knowing what colors pair well with my complexion. JK, just kidding. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've always thought the flowers are very pretty. It's a nice time to take a walk. Yeah, I hope that you're doing okay. I hope things have not been too busy for you. I wonder, would it actually be better like this? I almost feel like I'd prefer that. Yeah, isn't it nicer when you don't hear music in your head so you can think clearly? Yeah, because you walk around hearing BGM where there isn't actually any, right? That's just a thing you do. Don't worry, I do it too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, things have been very busy on my end lately. I'm sure you can guess. I've had a lot of things I've needed to review. I've had a lot of things to work on and take care of. It's just been so busy. It's been a very hectic time. Did I get good stuff done yesterday? No. I tried, but I just could not stay focused. I just could not stay focused like I wanted to, unfortunately. I got super distracted and I made like 0 progress before bed. But I did get to sit and call with Zeal Ginkoka, so that was nice. Yeah, we called for a while. Sable was there for a bit too. Yeah. I always love any time that I can hang out with my boys. What bothered me? Nothing bothered me. I just struggle to focus sometimes. I do my best and I make it work for me and I have strategies that help me stay focused, but sometimes no matter how hard I try, it's just like you know, I just can't make it work. Gongaga. Zeal Gongaga. Yeah, Zeal Ginkoka. I make one typo on a schedule and suddenly everybody's gonna make it a humongous deal. Because you hate me. No. That's not how it works. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Is this your first time here? Yeah, is this your first time around this place? I hope you like it. I hope you like it here. Yeah, the weather's just right, nice and warm. The sun is super bright. There's a light breeze, so it's not too hot. Yeah. I hope you like it here. Yeah, I've been super busy lately. I've had a lot of things I've had to keep up with. I've mentioned this recently too, I think. I've had a lot of housework to keep up with. I've had a lot of seasonal transition type stuff. You know, we're pushing head forward into spring. And honestly, for me, I realized that summer doesn't start until June. But the moment we hit the middle of May, it's basically summer for me. That's what it feels like. The moment we hit the middle of April or like early May, it's over and I'm sweating to death and dying. So, even though we're technically only in the middle of spring right now, I'm kind of getting ready for summer, getting things ready for the heat to come. Yeah, the allergies are hitting too. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've got the I can't breathe through my nostrils right now. That's just how it goes in the spring. Do I like the heat? Yes, I do. I love the heat. I just hate... I don't even hate. It's just tedious. I get a little caught up sometimes in the work you have to do to switch seasons. But I'm very, very thankful that I live in an area where I can experience all 4 seasons in a different way each. I think it's very beautiful. It's part of what makes this planet so interesting and awesome. You want to make a good first impression? Oh, do not worry. You're already winning. Just be mindful and don't say anything scary. And then it'll be awesome. But yeah, I'm very, very thankful that it is getting warmer, even if I get kind of caught up in the chores of preparing for the warmth. Because when it's really hot outside, I have an easier time exercising outside. Because I don't know, I can, and I have the clothes for it. I can exercise when it's cold. You know, I'll wear like compression shirts, and I'll wear like stuff that is designed for running around in the fall or the winter. But it just feels bad. Like when I have to exercise outside in the cold, my lungs are burning. I hate it. I don't know if you've ever done that before, exercising when it's cold. I despise it. I hope to never do it again. So I kind of prefer exercising when it's hot outside so that my lungs are not exploding like boom, boom, boom. I like the warm air. As long as it's not a wet heat, I think, like a very humid summer, I'm able to handle that more. If it's dry, that is. I'm more accustomed to a dry heat. But I understand that in coastal areas, like when you're close to the ocean, you tend to get very, very humid summers. Where you step outside and suddenly there's like a thick coating of fluid around you. Like you're wading through slime. That's not for me. Excuse me. I did mention the allergies, right? Yeah, there's pollen everywhere. All the plants are trying to reproduce and make new plants. All the bugs are going crazy. Bless you. Oh, thank you. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about today? I don't really have anything in particular to share other than just that I've been super busy. Is there anything in particular that you're curious about or interested in? Favorite type of plant? I love flowers. I really love flowers. In particular, I love sunflowers. I love hydrangeas. And I love hyacinths. I think those are my 3 favorites. But I also really love white roses. And, I don't know, white flowers in general, I really like. White and yellow flowers are my favorites, I think. I also really like trees. In particular, I really like flowering trees. I like trees that produce flower petals. It's kind of like an extension of my like for flowers in general. I really like when trees are flowering types because then near the end of their flowering period, they'll shed a bunch of petals, and it just makes everything really pretty and nice. If it were not for the pollen, this would probably be my favorite season, specifically because of the way everything looks. But the debuff of the pollen allergy is just so severe that it makes it more like a season that I'm just kind of indifferent about. Yeah, I really love flowering trees, and I love trees with fun colors as well. I really like the ginkgo tree, but I've never been to see one in person. I've only seen photos of ginkgo trees. But I really love the color and structure of the leaves on those trees. That being said, I hear that they're really stinky. I hear that it smells like dog poo, so maybe my opinion of the ginkgo will change a little bit when I see it in real life. But I do love the way that they look. I also love willow trees. They're not like flowers. They don't have flowers, but I really love like the hanging, like really like almost hair-like trees. If you know what I'm talking about, willows. I love when it looks almost like a curtain. I think wisteria can do that too, which is a really pretty one. Yeah, I love when trees have that hanging curtain type look to them. I love plants. We should all have more plants. Let's all be in a very plant time of our lives. I think plants are so nice, and we need way more of them everywhere. Yeah, weeping willows. I love weeping willows. I think they're very, very, very pretty. Yeah, let's all touch some more grass. Touching grass is not enough. We need to eat it. Get on all fours and moo like a cow. Oh my goodness. Do you have a favorite plant? Whether it's like a flower or a tree or maybe something else? I'll throw another one at you. This one is kind of treated as a lower class weed, but I really love dandelions. I love dandelions, even if they're considered weeds. I think they're very pretty. You like tulips? Ah, cacti. Awesome. Hydrangeas. I love those too. Rose bushes. Ah. I feel like rose bushes make me think of they make me think of like the Queen of Hearts. Alice in Wonderland. Who's been painting my roses red? Who's been painting my roses red? Who dares to taint with vulgar paint the royal flower bed? Yeah, when I hear rose bush, I think of like a castle. I think of like a princess's castle or something. Bluebells, very pretty. Spider lilies. Ah, those are a nice one. Those are used in a lot of stories because of the thematic purpose, as per Hanakotoba. Assuming you mean red spider lilies. Yeah, those actually come in a couple different varieties other than the red ones, but most people, and by most people I mean people that are like anime only for this life, they only know about the red ones. Highly encourage looking into some other ones. Honestly, most flowers have different variations and colors. I had a fun thread recently that sparked a big spree of trivia and stuff because I love learning fun facts, and I learned as a result of that thread that hydrangea color is actually determined by pH. Did you know that? Yeah, specifically the pH of the soil. pH being like a measure of acidity versus like how basic it is. I can't remember which direction it goes to make it more blue or more pink. But one of them is for more acidic soil, and then another one is for less acidic soil. Yeah, I need to find out and remember which direction it goes so I can remember. I would guess just by vibes that more acidic would probably result in pink, but it could be the other way around. Ah, probably pink for more acidic. See, that's what I'd think, but I don't know. Blue/purple is less acidic. Ah, I see. And then purple is in the middle, like more neutral pH. That's the third color variant. Yeah. So blue is more basic soil. Purple is neutral soil. And then pink / reddish is more acidic. Yeah, I learned that very recently. I never knew that. I thought it was similar to other flowers where it's just kind of, you know, like a genetic variation. Yeah, because with most flowers, when you have different colors to choose from, it's determined by their genes. And that's how you can crossbreed flowers in order to yield these distinct colors. Because flowers express their genes similar to the way that humans do. Because, you know, in humans, things like our hair color and our eye color and even things like our skin color, these things are all determined by the genes that were given by our parents. The same is true in most plants. Yeah. But in hydrangeas, it's more based on the environment that it grows in, I think, right? It's the other way around. Is blue more acidic and red / pink more basic? This stuff is confusing. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. The important part, I think, rather than remembering which color is which, is just the idea in general that it changes color depending on its environment. Yeah, blue hydrangeas are planted in acidic soil, and then a hydrangea that's planted in... Wait, what? Is red also acidic? No. Pink is basic. I'm Googling this. Let me pull out my phone. I can't trust you. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Hydrangea soil soil pH. Okay, I'm looking it up. Minus AI. So basic pH is acidic. Oh no, wait. Okay, that's. I just said something oxymoronic. That's a paradox. Acidic soil yields a deep blue. Neutral soil yields purple pink, and alkaline or basic soil yields deep pink, like a reddish pink. Yes. All right, I got the confirmed answer. I'll trust you another time. Don't worry. I haven't given up on you yet, but this time I'm gonna trust the facts. Yeah, it's just interesting in general because there's also, I don't know, to me there's something almost thematically and symbolically interesting about that, because as humans we're kind of determined by our environments in a lot of ways too, you know? Like if you have, say, a set of identical twins, they'll probably look very, very similar after they're born, and maybe for a few years in early childhood. But if you look at those same two identical twins in adulthood, they're going to be completely distinct people most of the time, and as far as the way they look goes, right? I think we reflect our experiences a lot in the way that we look and in the way that we express ourselves and style ourselves. So I think it's kind of interesting to have a flower that reflects that basic idea too, that, you know, the same plant in different soil would look different. To such an extreme too. Again, especially in a context where with flowers, the color is usually determined by the genes, genetic coding, rather than the soil. As far as I understand. I have not taken like a deep... I haven't gotten very deep into looking into horticulture and similar stuff. I only know the basics that I learned in biology, but I always did find it very interesting. Very pretty too. Very pretty. I love flowers. I think everybody should get more flowerful. Let's all have flowers together. Do I know my birth flower? No, I don't. Is it based on your month or your day or both or what? Let's see. Birth flower. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm about to learn. Let's see. So it's kind of like birthstones. According to this chart that I'm looking at right now, mine is chrysanthemum or peony. And it symbolizes specifically friendship, health, and longevity. Ooh, I like chrysanthemums. I actually really like chrysanthemums. I think ball-shaped flowers like that are some of the prettier ones. Very soft. Kind of flower that I would like to hug if I was also a flower. I love peonies too. I really, really love the really pale peonies. The ones that are almost like white. The really, really bright pink peonies. I think those are very nice. I think those are my favorites. What is your birth flower? Do you know? There's some pretty ones to choose from. Do you know your birth stone as well? Kind of tangent away from flowers a little bit. Do you ever think about that? I don't know if you know this, but I actually wear my birthstone. Yeah, I actually wear my birthstone in my uniform. Yeah, I wear it at my waist. And it's also in a couple pins on my coat, but I didn't bring that with me today. Yeah, topaz is my birthstone. I think that's pretty cool too. I don't know. I like that there are things we associate with our birth and like with the time that we are brought into this world. It's pretty cute. I love humans. I love that we have these little things. Topaz which glows red? No. It doesn't glow, period. And it reflects golden light. Because it has a golden hue. And gems do not glow. They do not shine. They reflect. You remind me of, You're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond. Diamonds do not shine bright. They reflect light. They do not shine. They can only reflect. It glows red? No, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. That's just what it looks like on camera, okay? You're gonna drive me crazy with this. All these color debates. I didn't even start that one. That was all you. Cursive song. Shine bright like a dime orange. Shine bright like a dime orange. You're beautiful like diamonds in your sky. Oh, it's been a minute since I pulled out the cursive. You're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a dime orange. Wait, is cursive trending on TikTok? I deleted TikTok a few months ago, so I have no idea what's trending right now. Are people finally coming around to cursive? I've been joking about cursive singing for like 5 years now. I was such a young individual. I'm still a young individual, but I was so much younger when I first got into joking about cursive singing. It's not? Oh, okay. I got one guide. Sorry. I have no idea what's going on over on TikTok these days. I don't see anything. Trending in 2020? No, see, that's what I'm saying. What did I just say? I said, quote, I was making fun of cursive singing how many years ago? Like 5. That's what I just said. I know it was trending in 2020, but I always wanted it to be bigger. Hearing that it's on somebody's TikTok feed right now, I was like, oh my gosh, come back? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on TikTok now. I'm healing. I'm living a chronically offline lifestyle. That's not true. I'm just off of TikTok now. Are you missing out? If you don't have TikTok, honestly, I think it's better for you. The same thing with all social media. If you can cut one out, it's better to. Or if you can more than cut it out, I think it's best to just restrict the amount of time you spend on it. I had to go cold turkey because I just could not regulate the time I spent on it. I would open it and I'd be like, all right, I'll scroll for like 10 minutes. And then 3 hours later, I would stop. So it's better for me to just not have access to it in the first place. Yeah. That's what works for me. I love so much of what I used to see on there, though. Because I curated such a perfect, fine-tuned algorithm. I built it brick by brick, and it satisfied me every single time I opened it. My For You page would be like just a constant stream of funny things and sweet things, and I walked out of it entertained and educated. It was awesome. Alas, it was a little too much for Elmo. I had to cut it out. But that's just what worked for me. If you're able to regulate it, I think it's a fun thing to have. It's fun to be connected to the world in little ways like that. You just cannot let it have too much of your life, you know? What type of content did I tailor it to? I tailored it to very specific niches of humor. I would get some of the most viral things on there. Like the stuff that everybody was getting. I would get those. More than what I attuned it to, it was more like I tried to tune out stuff. I didn't get any slop. I did not get anything in the tier of like Facebook memes for 30 plus. No, I'd say more like at this point 40 plus year olds. I say 30 plus, but that's just because that's what it used to be. But now it's for 40 plus year olds. Time has passed. People that primarily use Facebook for information. Specifically in an English-speaking internet. Because I think Facebook is... I think Facebook probably assumes a different vibe depending on the culture that's using it. Yeah, as far as I know, when it comes to English speakers on Facebook, it tends to be a very different type of humor that is more geared towards the older side. Casey still does hyper-specific impressions. Casey Winnie. Thank God. Oh my gosh. She's my muse. I want to be her when I grow up. I'm so glad that she's still doing stuff. Genuinely, every time I ask for an update on TikTok, it's like, that person you used to think was very funny is retired forever, or did a very they destroyed a hospital. They robbed a bank. They're a criminal now. Like it's like genuinely it's like that person you thought was funny 7 months ago. We don't talk about them anymore. Every time I ask for an update, that's how it goes. I can't I can't have anything stay the same. Yeah, I need that to be my constant in this world. I need her to continue making hyper-specific impressions, and I need her to continue doing telepathic messages. I need her to stay exactly the same. I think she's one of the funniest people on earth. Oh my gosh. Is that a cookie? Can I have it? It's so stupid. It's when you give a mouse a cookie. That's one of my favorite impressions of hers. Her impression of when you give a mouse a cookie. She's like, oh, is that a cookie? Can I have it? Oh my goodness. It's too good. Wait, did I just lose you? Hello? Oh, man. Okay, there you are. Got scared there for a second. My whole thing froze up. Hi. I mean, my brain froze. I couldn't think or process anything. Any cookies today? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Because about a year ago, we took a little walk just like this, and we had cookies. I have no cookies today, I hope you don't mind, but I do have a box of chocolates. Yeah, I brought it here. I got this bag of it right here. I thought you might want to share some chocolates. You're not going to believe this, but these are actually discounted Valentine's Day chocolates. Even though Valentine's Day was like 2 months ago, I cannot believe that they got these. Yeah, I didn't go shopping for it this year in the end. It was an annual tradition of mine that I ended up cutting out because I was too busy this Valentine's Day season. But my sister went to the store recently, and she saw that they had Valentine's Day chocolate on clearance for straight up like 90% off. This is like the cheapest Valentine's Day chocolate ever. So yeah, she got a few boxes. What kind? This is one of those sampler boxes for Valentine's Day. This one has milk chocolate caramel, milk chocolate strawberry cream, dark chocolate orange cream, milk chocolate cocoa truffle, and finally dark chocolate caramel. I really love these samplers. My favorites are usually the dark chocolate fruit syrup ones. Like the dark chocolate orange one is one I really like. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to take that one. Do you mind? Or is that your favorite? Because I only grabbed one of these boxes. I realize it's not Valentine's Day, but we can still have chocolate. Yeah, if the orange one is your favorite, you can have it. But I'd like to have that one, if it's okay. I can have it? Okay, thank you. Have I checked the expiry? Let's see if there is one. Best if used by May 5th, 2027. We got a month. Oh, wait, we got a year and a month. Yeah, we got a whole year and a month. We're fine. Ah, so good. Will it trigger my allergies? No, thankfully. When it comes to artificial flavoring, I don't get the reaction at all. Most artificial fruit flavors are just like sugar in different directions rather than samples of that fruit. Most of the time. Either that or just like super processed. All right, which one do you want? Do you like caramel? Here, you can have the milk chocolate caramel. That one's on the slightly sweeter side. Say, ah. If you don't mind, I will have the dark chocolate caramel one. Because I love dark chocolate. It's probably my favorite. Mmm. Mmm. Ah, I love these so much. They're so good. All right, do you want... We got two left. Do you want the strawberry cream or do you want the cocoa truffle? Which one do you want? Which do I like more? I like the strawberry cream more. I like the fruit syrups, but I feel like you should try a fruit syrup one. You didn't get one yet. You know what? You can have both of them actually, because I did actually have plenty to eat earlier. You can have both the strawberry cream and the cocoa truffle. All right, here comes strawberry cream first. Say ah. Do you like the fruit syrup kind? Like I said, those are my favorites from these sampler boxes because I feel like otherwise it's kind of hard to find these. But the other types of chocolate, like you can get milk chocolate covered caramel at the grocery store any day. Same with like most other types, but I feel like these fruit syrup ones only show up around Valentine's Day. Well, whether you like that one or not, there's one more and it's just for you. All right, here comes the last one, cocoa truffle. Say ah. Here, I'll wrap this box up and take it home with me. Never litter. Littering is bad. Do you like it? I got some water too if you need it. I'm gonna have some first though. I'm gonna have some to swish around my teeth a little bit too. Awesome. I don't know if you do that. I'm kind of weird about cleaning my teeth, but realistically, I'm not going to brush my teeth or floss out in public. So after I have a meal or a snack when I'm out, I'll just like swish whatever beverage I have as thoroughly as I can. You want to eat the box too? Wait, why would you want to eat the box? This is just plastic and cardboard. There's nothing good about this. Well, I mean, you could lick the box if you want. A little bit of the syrup leaked out from the orange one. Yeah, you could lick that up if you want. It's kind of hard now though. because it escaped the confines of the chocolate. I mean, if you want it, it's not very good for you. Hey, I get it. I kind of would like to crunch down on it too. It does look like it would be very fun to chew. I would love to just like have this between my teeth and go like. You know what? Here, if you choose to eat this, do it where I can't see you. But here, I'll let you take care of this. You can bring this box home. No chocolate left in it, really, but whether you throw it away or eat it, that's your choice. Just don't let me know what you're doing with it, okay? I don't want to know. I don't want to be an accessory to something unhealthy. Oh my goodness. That was nice though, wasn't it? A nice little snack. Have I ever chewed on paper? No, but I have something way worse. Do you want to know? Do you want a baby Kaelix story? Or more than story, more just like feature that I had, like a habit that I had as a kid? On the subject of like chewing on things. I took it a step further than chewing on paper. Paper was not quite enough for baby Kaelix. So, you know, like corn dogs, popsicles, various foods will come on a wooden stick. A little wooden stick with rounded edges at the top and the bottom. It wasn't enough for me to just eat a hot, like a corn dog, or to have a popsicle and then throw the stick away. What I would do after that is I would chew on the stick until it was reduced to just a little pile of splinters on a plate. I would just chew it up. I'd break it into tiny little pieces, like a beaver. Yeah, that was me. I chewed on sticks. I chewed on wood. That's what I did. Yeah, I didn't eat it. Don't worry. I wasn't swallowing the wood. It was just for my teeth. It was just for chewing. Not a good habit, by the way. You can do long-term damage to your teeth if you chew on wood. Does it not hurt? Nope. I would just break it up into little pieces with my teeth. But eventually my mom intervened and she was like, Kaelix, you need to stop chewing on these. If I see one of these in the trash can again, you're grounded. I was like, okay. Fine. Me at like, I think 13 years old at that point, I was like, fine. Yeah, you know, like the nerd emoji with the buck teeth? That was me with my beaver teeth. I was like... It's okay. You don't. If you get me, that's great. If you don't get me, that's also okay. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I'm very proud of the life that I've lived until now. Fine, Mom. I'll stop chewing wood. Yeah, 13. I was doing that into my tweens. It started when I was a lot younger, though. I think it started when I was like 7, maybe. Maybe 8 years old. Anytime I'd have a corn dog, I would chew the stick up. And honestly, I think I had a few isolated incidents after 13 as well. Because, I don't know, it's just satisfying. Don't recommend it. You should not do it. It's bad for your dental hygiene and health, but it is kind of satisfying. Cupcake wrappers? No. For me, I'm not as into the idea of paper. Paper actually feels kind of gross when I think about putting it in my mouth. Like a wrapper or like a sheet of paper. I'm not a fan of that. That feels gross. I don't know, when I'm because we're talking about like chewing things purely for the sake of chewing it rather than for eating something, right? I always liked the crunchier things. When it came to chewing on things, I loved the crunch. I like the feeling of breaking something between my teeth. Paper, it just gets like flat and soggy and it's just gross. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Ice, See, I wish I could chew ice, but it's too cold because I'm very sensitive to the cold in my mouth. That's the big debuff. I wish we could have room temperature ice. If we could have room temp ice, oh my gosh, I would live such a happy life. I'd be crunching it up and not hurting. Yeah, when I have cold stuff in my mouth or between my teeth, it just hurts really bad. That's why I don't drink cold water. That's why I prefer room temp or like warm if possible. I know that's water. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about water. I'm talking about solidified water that has taken the solid form of ice, but its freezing point is higher than really cold. Because by default, you can only freeze water into ice when it's super cold. I would like water that freezes at room temperature so that I can chew it without my mouth hurting. Teeth sensitivity? Yeah, I kind of do. My teeth have always been kind of sensitive. My gums a little bit too. And then my throat as well. Honestly, just my whole body. I'm just a very sensitive person. Physically speaking, I'm just very sensitive. This is something we've talked about before, I think. Did we talk about that on our last walk, actually? Our last walk in the Sakura season? Like a year ago? That'd be kind of crazy. Full circle moment. But yeah, I'm just generally a very physically sensitive person. Especially when it comes to the cold and to certain other things, I guess. But mostly the cold. Was it the nighttime walk? I see. I knew we were on a walk. I remember the feeling of the air on my skin when I told you that. That's all. Yeah, I like crunch. I like crunch between my teeth. That's why I have cereal sometimes, even though I don't really feel like eating cereal. I like the feeling of chewing cereal more than like the flavor or the experience of eating cereal. I just like... I wish I could just like go outside and just scoop up gravel with my hand and shovel it in. Like... I wish I could eat rocks. Oh, I would love to eat rocks. That would be so nice. That would be so awesome, wouldn't it? Don't you think so? Favorite cereal? I like, I've described it this way before, I think. I like adult women cereal. Like cereal that is marketed to grown women who are trying to balance their health but have a sweet treat. So I like bran flakes that have like freeze-dried strawberries in them. And like fruits and stuff. I like those. I like rice, like crispy rice cereals. I like the Pebble type cereals too, but those are way too much sugar, so I don't really eat them now. But I used to really like those. As for flavor though, I really love cinnamon cereals. The cinnamon ones are my favorites to like taste. So my ideal cereal would be one that has the crunchy texture and shape of Rice Krispies or like the Pebbles, but has the flavor of cinnamon toast. Do I have milk with my cereal? No, I have orange juice. No, I have milk. And I am a milk on top of the cereal guy, just to be clear, because I feel like that covers more of the cereal. I feel like if you put the milk first and then the cereal second, you've got a bunch of cereal on the top that is not soaked with the milk. And that's just kind of like weird. I'm just not a fan. Yeah, I have milk with my cereal. Who does milk first? You'd be surprised. There are a lot of people out there that have milk first. It's one of those like divisive, polarizing debates of daily life. Adjacent to like which direction you hang your toilet paper on the toilet paper hanger. You never know. You think you can trust somebody, but then it turns out they're a milk first person. Globalist propaganda? You think milk first is globalist propaganda? I don't know. I think milk first people are real. Otherwise it wouldn't be a discussion, right? There'd be no question. That can't be propaganda. I don't know if I've ever met a milk first person though. Is there anybody in EN who's milk first? Do we know? Is this information available? I don't know if I've asked. Is Shuya Mino milk first? He had a whole thing with cereal at one point, didn't he? I vaguely remember a stream on this subject, but I don't remember the details. It's been a minute. I feel like I watched a little of a stream of some kind, but someone in EN is milk first. I think it might be Shu. Is it actually? He's a flat earther? Do you think that may? So wait, does milk first equal flat Earth? Is that how the world works? I feel like it's kind of, honestly, thinking about it practically, in terms of pragmatism, if you would prefer milk before cereal, that is the kind of logical processing that would result in the belief in flat Earth. I think I see your argument here. I see where it connects, actually. Yeah, I was dumbfounded at first, but I've connected the two dots. Oh man, I expected better from Shuya Mino. What the heck? I thought he was better than this. Has he said why he does milk first? If so, has he ever clarified why he prefers that? That's what I want to know. Because I have a reason for preferring cereal first, milk second, right? Because if you put the milk second, then it goes over the top and then around the middle as it reaches its path to it extends its path down to the bottom of the bowl. Ergo, it covers more of the cereal. So you don't have a bunch of untouched dry cereal at the top. I haven't heard a good reason to do milk first. Ah, you like dry cereal. Ah, in his case, he just likes to measure the amount of milk that he's using. Well, I mean, why not just measure the milk and pour it in second? You could just measure the milk after the cereal. Like, wait, hold on, I don't understand the benefit here. Is he just rage baiting the public? Is he just trying to mess with the people? That makes sense. I can't actually, thinking about it this way, I can kind of wrap my head around cereal first specifically cereal second, milk first to have a drier experience of the cereal. Especially if you're going to have a lot of cereal. Like if you're having a big bowl of cereal, I think milk first might be more reasonable. Just a little bit more. Because if you have a really big bowl, it will take you longer to eat it, which means that by the end of it, the cereal that's left in the bowl is super, super soggy and gross. I'm not a fan of soggy cereal. I like dry, crunchy cereal that still has milk in it and around it. Does that make sense? Like, I like that early stage of it getting soaked in the milk. So yeah, I can kind of wrap my head around the merit now, thinking about it that way. I can get in the mind of a flat earther who likes I can get in the mind of a flat earther who likes milk first, cereal second now, thinking about it that way. I can see the appeal. But only in the case of a really big bowl of cereal, which I'm generally not going to have anyway, because that much milk is just going to clog your sinuses and make you sound like Yeah, I tend to have smaller bowls of cereal, and sometimes I'll even have a cup of cereal. Like I'll have like a mug, so that it's a smaller amount. Just because I love milk and I love cereal, but I try not to have too much of it. Because as I've said, it's not bad for your sinuses, but it will cause you to produce more mucus, which congests your sinuses. And given that I speak and sing for a living, it's in my better interest to avoid things that will mess with my mucus production. Yeah. Yogurt? I do like yogurt. That's in the same category of adult women food that I've described liking, where they'll market the yogurt to grown women in the grocery store, and it'll have like a pretty lady with a ponytail on the cover of the thing, and she's like holding the ingredients or whatever for the logo, or I guess for the graphic design rather. I like those, where it's like a slightly sweet yogurt that has fruits in it. Ah, it's so nice. I'm a big fan of that. That's one of my like struggle meal snacks. And by struggle meal, more than any other kind of struggle, it's more like a struggle of time and commitment. Because there are a lot of times where I've got to eat, but I don't have the time or the energy spare to cook or to think about what I want to eat. So in the really dire times, I'll sometimes have a bunch of yogurt just prepped in the freezer, or not the freezer, the fridge rather, prepped in the fridge, and I'll just pop it out and eat it. My hack, if you ever have those, I personally feel like this is common sense, but people have been like, Kaelix, what are you doing with that? But it makes it better. If you have yogurt of any kind or anything like yogurt with that like spoon, like if you have to spoon it out, that kind of consistency like pudding, stirring it up a bunch before you have your first bite is really nice. I feel like when it sits in a container for long enough, it gets kind of crusty and gross in certain spots. But if you mix it up really thoroughly, it gives it that texture of like children's yogurt that I really love. I love children's yogurt where it's just like super smooth and it looks like it came out of like a machine in a cartoon. Like Tubby Tustard from the Teletubbies or whatever. I love that. I want it to be super smooth, just totally uniform consistency. So stirring it like crazy is really nice. I don't think it's unusual, but every time I've done it with a witness, the witness has been confused by the fact that I'm stirring my food before eating. Yeah, that same like Go-Gurt type texture. You can get that out of any yogurt ever if you just stir it a bunch first. I do the same thing with sour cream as well, if I'm going to have sour cream. Because I love sour cream. I especially love sour cream if I'm having like beef or beans or anything in that territory. If I'm making like nachos, maybe tacos. I'll have it sometimes in my pastas as well. I find that sour cream in general is better if you stir it up a bunch, just like yogurt. Oh, I just remembered V-Craft. V-Craft mentioned. There was a moment where Clifford Rolexis was like, yogurt and sour cream are the same exact thing, but Big Yogurt doesn't want you to know that. Good day, Slingshot. Sour cream and pasta, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's pretty good if you do it right. Sour cream and pasta is better with like a... I think there's a name for this type of pasta, actually. I think it's called Husband's Delight. I don't make that very often, but I like to eat it. Yeah, when I make pasta, I don't tend to cook with meat. I tend to cook more with cheeses and cheese sauces. I'm a very big white and pink sauce pasta guy. Yeah, if you're ever interested, I think Husband's Delight is a pasta that makes really, really good use of sour cream. What husband likes that pasta? This husband. I'm unmarried, but call me the husband because I'm delighted to eat that. It's so good. You should try it sometime. Pink sauce? Yes. Pink sauce is like white sauce, but you also add red sauce. It's like in between white and red. So you start with a cheese sauce and then you add tomato. Because I like both. I like both. I refuse to pick a side. And I reject the notion that you have to pick a side and that one is superior or inferior to the other. White sauce and red sauce are both good, and they also work really well with each other. Yeah, vodka sauce is a common pink one. I actually had vodka sauce for the very first time in my trip in January. Yeah, I had a pasta that was like it had vodka sauce as its base. It was really, really good. I also had a bite of my friend's order, which had a truffle oil. He had like a mushroom-based pasta, and it had truffle oil in it. And that was my first bite of truffle oil, and it was really, really good. I see the hype. I understood the hype for truffle and truffle oil instantly. And now I want 1 billion gallons of it. I'd kind of like to go to that specific restaurant again someday just so I can order that specific plate of like mushroomy pasta. Because I only had one bite. I had a bite from my friend's plate. We all exchanged bites at the table. Yeah, truffle's so good. Ugh. That'd be so nice. No, I'm not gonna buy truffle oil just to eat it by itself, but I would love to order more things in restaurants that have truffle oil in them. Foods that I don't like. I'm not very picky. I used to be very picky. When I was a child, I was probably the pickiest eater on earth, but I've grown past a lot of it through sheer force of will and stubbornness. But there are some things that I haven't been able to move on from, even in adulthood. If I so much as smell a steamed beet, I start gagging and getting sick. I can't deal with steamed beets. If I just look at it, I feel like sick to my stomach. I cannot eat steamed beets. It's not an allergy or anything. It's like it's a psychological thing. Maybe it's a physiological thing too. I just cannot have it in my body or in my mouth or near my body. But if they're not steamed, that's fine. Like a regular beet straight from the ground. I've never had issues with that. It's specifically the texture and smell and appearance that it assumes when it has been sliced and steamed. Other steamed root vegetables are fine. Like I like steamed carrots. Those are good. And beets in another context are probably fine. I've not had them, but they're probably fine. It's specifically the smell and shape and texture of steamed beets. There was a time when I was a little kid when my mom made a bunch of canned steamed beets. And we had a policy in my house. Have a policy, honestly, even though all of us are more or less grown now, pretty much, with a couple exceptions. Even though we're pretty much grown, there was always a policy in the past, especially when we were little, of you don't leave the table until you've finished your plate, because anything else would be a waste of food. So I'm sure you can imagine, I had a very hard time at dinner that night. And to this day, I have not been able to eat them. And it's not even that particular event made it impossible for me to eat the steamed beets. It's like from the beginning, the very first encounter I had with them, it was already there. It's like, you know, like in Tomodachi Life, when you give a me their least favorite food ever, and they turn into gray mush and melt down into a puddle on the ground. That's me. That's my #1 least favorite. I cannot eat the steamed beet. I can't do it. I get stressed out just thinking about it. Other than that, as far as foods that I just don't like, because that one, rather than don't liking it, I wish I could like it. It's not even a matter of opinion. It's like my body rejects it. Everything about me. Aside from that, I don't really like a lot of things that have sweet potatoes in them, but I don't dislike sweet potatoes. Does that make sense? Like, I've had sweet potatoes in certain things that were okay, or that I even liked, but a lot of the time, I think the sweetness of sweet potatoes paired with the mushy texture of potatoes in general, I haven't liked that very much, just in general. I start to feel a little sick when I eat it sometimes. But I can eat it still, even if I don't really like it. What else is there that I don't really like? I don't know. I like most food. I like pretty much all vegetables. I've never had Brussels sprouts. I know those are a very popular, like, I hate this food vegetable. I guess a faster way to say that would be this, that they're just a generally unpopular vegetable, Brussels sprouts. I've never had those, so I might not like them. But I like spinach. That's a common one that kids hate. I love broccoli. Broccoli's my favorite vegetable. Tried them fried? Yes, I like fried sweet potatoes. That's one of the kinds that I've had that I liked. I actually love those. Like sweet potato fries. I've had those in like the hash fry structure before, and it was really, really good. Yeah, I feel like I would probably like Brussels sprouts. I'm just saying that there's potential that I don't like them because I've never had them. Potato salad? Yes. I've also had macaroni salad. How do I phrase this? This is a weird one, actually. Like, those specific categories of, like, southern salads, air quote salads, where really it's just, like, the main component and then a bunch of mayonnaise. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. I'm at very neutral territory with potato and macaroni salads. However, there are times where I crave it really strongly, and I just have to have it in my body, like, right now. And I don't really know how to explain that, right? Like, you don't really like it, but you need to eat it. I get that way sometimes, specifically with potato and macaroni salad. Yeah. There are days where I just want to shovel it into my mouth, and then other days where I'm like, not so good. I'd usually prefer like a proper salad though, like with vegetables and dressing and stuff. What's macaroni salad? So macaroni salad and also potato salad, they're very similar. It's a very common southern dish where what you do is you boil macaroni, in the case of macaroni salad, just like macaroni and cheese, right? But you don't pair it with cheese. You mix it up with certain sliced vegetables and other ingredients, minimal spices as well. I think paprika is really popular. And then you refrigerate it and you serve it cold. Adjacent to macaroni salad is just pasta salad in general. Very, very similar. Yeah. And then with potato salad, it's basically the same approach, but you use potatoes. And you'll add in like hard-boiled eggs, stuff like that. Yeah. Pickles, relish are really common in those. Do I like pickles? I think pickles are okay in the right context. I'll eat it regardless, but I don't really like pickles as much on their own as I do on, like, say, like a hamburger. Does that make sense? Like a hamburger without a pickle feels empty and not as good, but I don't want to pull out a jar of pickles and just go ham on them. Yeah. That's where I stand with those. Yeah, on a sandwich, pickles are really nice. On a like a cheeseburger. Other pickled vegetables? I haven't actually tried very many. I'd really like to. Yeah, I say pickles. That's specifically like pickled cucumbers, right? I haven't really tried very many others. I've had it's not really the same as pickled, right? It's fermented, but kimchi is adjacent to that, isn't it? I've had kimchi a couple times. It was very strong, but I didn't dislike it. It was pretty interesting. It was an interesting flavor. I think I need to try it a couple more times before I have an actual opinion on it. But it paired pretty well with the other things that I was having. Sauerkraut. Ooh, I do like sauerkraut, yeah. I've had sauerkraut a couple times. Sort of similar. I like coleslaw as well. Coleslaw. That's good. Very good, like, barbecue side. Or, like, dressing. We're talking so much about food, I'm getting hungry. I just ate, like, right before this, but now I'm hungry again. You're making me hungry. We need to talk about something else. No more food. Give me a topic change. We should talk about... Stretch. Oh my gosh. I needed this walk. I've been spending so much time slouching at my desk. My upper back has been killing me lately. No reverb. We're out on a walk. I'm not at my desk. I don't have my effects panel. I can't give you the reverb. I just have to yell really, really loud and hope that it reverberates off the mountains in the distance. Which is obviously not going to happen unless we're in like a cartoon. Oh my goodness. Do I have a favorite flower? Yes, I do. I recommend rewinding this stream to the beginning after it's over. I mean, I recommend recalling your memory of about an hour ago. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're in a time loop. I've had every fruit. I've seen that guy. I've seen a video of that guy. He'd be like, yeah, I've had every fruit. And they'd be like, have you had the Blorby Blorbus fruit? Which they made up and doesn't actually exist. And he'd be like, yeah, I've had that. That's too goofy. Any fun activities I like to do in the spring? Well, I love taking walks. Even if I'm very sensitive to the pollen, I love walks like this one. I like hiking. I haven't been hiking as much in the more recent years, but I love hiking in general. Kokiri Village, there are a lot of good places to go. Like the general region of Kokiri Village. I love just being outside in general. I love just leaving my window wide open as well whenever... I love leaving my window wide open as well whenever I'm just working. I find that it makes life a little bit richer and warmer. Listen to music on a walk. Usually not when I'm walking. I'll listen to music sometimes when I'm running. like specifically for the sake of exercise. If I'm out on a run, I'll listen to music sometimes. I'll have earbuds in. But when I'm walking, I tend to just kind of vibe. I like listening to the world around me most of the time. Yeah. I love listening to music when I run though. I don't do it all the time, but I like listening to I may have shared this with you before. Uh what is it called? I don't remember what the track is called. Whenever I run, there is like this is something I do very rarely. Most of the time I'll just listen to whatever song I'm into at the time and hope that it's got a good BPM. Like 90% of the time that's what it is. 5% of the time it'll be something new. A few other percents that I won't account for that I just can't think of right now, but about 1% of the time, a very rare thing that I love to do when I'm running sometimes is I like to play that one track from Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. The one that's got like it does as a six and spicy I like listening to that and pretending that I am a Titan, crushing a bunch of things below me when I run. And in my mind, I'll imagine specifically like the female Titan as I like adjust my posture because she runs with really healthy posture. Yeah. I'll listen to that and pretend that I am a Titan destroying the world beneath me. I've always wanted to try to. Do you know that one app where it will like play zombie noises to scare you into running faster? Like the zombies are getting closer, you have to speed up. I've been wanting to try that. Because I don't know, I really love to imagine things. I think imagination makes life very fun and awesome. And it makes adult life way less boring. I love Hiroyuki Sawano's songs are cool. Yeah, there's a take on that song that was slower that I also really liked. I don't listen to it when I run, but I listened to it a bunch when I was a lot younger. It was like da 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 boklotsen da 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 oishii as if it has been me boklotsen. Do you know that one? It's a really, really pretty one. I really, really, really like that song. Yeah, I don't know any other words though. Whoopsie. I should record a running RP voice pack. I kind of did that almost in one of them. In my sports VP last summer, I included a stretch routine in the main voice. And then in the EX voice, it was like the prelude to a run. But I guess I didn't actually talk while running. What would be pretty cool in the context of a VP would be if I like set up a treadmill and recorded while I was running. So it would be more immersive. That'd be pretty interesting. Sick and killed by grandma, okay? Any favorite anime? So many. Oh my gosh. Lately, I've been trying to get into Frieren. I'm just so busy, it's hard to find time to watch. But my favorites are Danjon Meshi. And I love Boku Dake ga Inai Machi. And I love Great Pretender. I think those are my top 3. Outside of my top 3, I also just generally really love Overlord. And I love ReZero. And I love all the isekai anime that I've seen are kind of like my guilty pleasures. I love them, but I feel bad about it. Does that make sense? my most unwoke opinion. Oh my goodness. D&D. I've never played out like in a serious context, but I've always wanted to. I'm actually really sad. I had some friends that I was trying to. They got me into it because they know I really want to play. We were trying to arrange a time that we could consistently meet and play D&D. I almost had like a serious campaign going, but unfortunately, I just could not find a time in my schedule that would work good for everybody else's. So now they're playing without me. I'm not able to play with them in the end. Yeah. It's just a very unfortunate coincidence in timing that the hours that I most need to clock in are the hours that the average person is off work and free to have fun and relax and watch videos, you know? So the hours that they're free and they aren't tied down by work, those are the hours that I gotta clock in. That's just how it is. Yeah. I had a lot of fun playing on Aya's channel, though. Even if it wasn't a serious campaign, and even if I spent most of it laughing instead of RPing, I had a good time. And you never know. There could be another opportunity in the future. It just did not work out this time. I love D&D, though. I listen to a lot of D&D. I say a lot of, but I've listened to a few D&D podcast type situations or like video playthroughs. And I read about D&D sometimes. I don't own a physical textbook, but I read online materials and resources about D&D sometimes. And I have written multiple homebrew concepts and expanded multiple stat blocks for monsters and characters. And I particularly really want to learn to DM at some point. D&D podcast recs. Adventure Zone is a really, really popular one that I've been wanting to get into. I've personally got more experience listening to Critical Role, and Dimension 20 is my favorite. I love Dimension 20. Yeah, I really want to get into Adventure Zone. I've heard really, really good things about it. Yeah. So that's on my list to get into listening to at some point. I think I've been told by a friend who listens to it while he works. He does like programming stuff, so he needs stuff that he can listen to just very passively. He says it's really good for multitasking and that you don't have to listen super closely to understand what's going on. So I'm hoping that I could start listening to Adventure Zone while I do like other stuff. Obviously, I'm not programming anything, but yeah, I can only spare a certain amount of focus, which is one of the reasons I don't watch new things anymore. Yeah, I really love Dimension 20. Any season I've watched completely satisfied me. I want to see so many more of them. I recommend them all. They're all good. It's just such a fun, charming cast and such a talented DM. I love Brennan Lee Mulligan. He's so cool. Yeah. I love D&D, but I've never played. In any practical sense. I did, again, I played a joke campaign on Aya's on Aya's channel, and it was really, really fun. But it's like, it's a different thing from D&D in that context, right? Yeah, I would like to learn to DM because I love thinking up fantasy stories. I love writing. I love building things from scratch. I want to learn enough about D&D someday that I can construct a homebrew world that works. Because I know that homebrew is very, very difficult to do in a way that doesn't have holes and issues. I want to know enough about the game and also gain practical experience enough such that I can do my own cool homebrew and have it work flawlessly. That would be really awesome. It would be a cool way to write my little stories and actually share them with people. Because I write stories all the time, but I don't show them to anybody. I don't publish them. Baldur's Gate, I really want to play it. I purchased it for my birthday a couple Novembers ago. And I played it for 13 straight hours. And I said, oh no. And then I deleted it. And I have not downloaded it ever since. Because I liked it too much. And it's a time sink that I can't afford. And I have not been able to afford for a long time. I'm not able to manage my time responsibly if I have access to a game like Baldur's Gate. It's just too fun. It's too fun. I cannot reasonably play it for like 2 hours and then put it down to do my work. I cannot play Baldur's Gate. What I'm going to have to do at some point is I'm going to have to be like, all right, I'm taking a week off to play Baldur's Gate. I'll see you in a week. And then I'll spend every waking hour playing it off stream. and then I'll come back and I'll tell you all about my adventure. It's in Faerun, right? Like the standard D&D world. I'll tell you all about my adventure in Faerun. Maybe if it's on stream. No. That's way too... It just won't... It won't work. It just won't work. It won't work. Because then I won't want to play anything else. And the streams will be still, like, over 10 hours. I wouldn't be able to stream it. I could only stream Baldur's Gate if it was as a group with other people. That I could manage. Because then you're capped by the group. Because somebody in the group is going to want to call it at like 3 or 4 hours. And then I still have the rest of my day to work on stuff. Yeah, I cannot do more than you minding, which I do care about. I do care about whether you'd mind it. It's like I cannot fit it into my daily planner. I cannot spare 12 consecutive hours across multiple days in a week. Unless it's a very, very rare event. But who knows? There may come a day where I'm just about willing to spare the time for something like that. But honestly, if I was, what I really want to do is sink a bunch of time into Skyrim. I'm desperate to play Skyrim again. I've missed it. But that's another one of those games where I know if I start streaming Skyrim, I'm not going to be able to play another game for at least a week. So you're just going to have to wait for the day that I get over myself and I'm like, all right, this is what you get this week. I hope you weren't hoping for... I hope you weren't looking forward to anything else. I really, really love Skyrim. Though honestly, maybe by that point they'll finish the new one. Because they've been cooking a new one behind the scenes for a while now. Yeah, maybe by that point we'll have a new Elder Scrolls. And then I can play that. Yeah, that one, as far as like the fantasy time sync games go, that's higher in my priority list than Baldur's Gate. Particularly because I've already played it, and I find deep comfort in playing it like multiple times over. I've played and finished Skyrim. Well, I guess it depends on how you define quote-unquote finished. But I've played and reached a satisfying end in Skyrim several times across several consoles. And I look forward to the chance to do it again. Not anytime soon, though. Not anytime soon, though. I hope you don't mind to wait for it. But yeah, definitely know that that is something I'm totally interested in doing at some point in the future. Yeah, it may be like a year or two down the line. Several consoles, yes. I've played and finished, I again, quote unquote finished. I've played for many, many hours Skyrim on the PlayStation 3, the Nintendo Switch, and the PC. And I had an opportunity to play it on an Xbox, but it wasn't my console, so I wasn't going to do that. Yeah. Ugh. That's honestly a game I spent way too much time on for the amount of time that I spend talking about it. It's not very proportionate. That one just comes up very, very rarely, but very, very formative game for me. Where would I place Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy is a bit of a dangerous one because that's another one where I'm the type where I want to play as much of it as possible. So I'm hesitant to get into the franchise because of just how much there is. That being said, I really want to experience Final Fantasy VII at some point, now that I understand how the franchise actually works. For the longest time, I actually thought that all the stories were chronological. Like Final Fantasy 1, and then you do Final Fantasy 2, and it continues from 1, and then 3, and then 4. But I learned that that's not actually how that works, and each game is its own story, which is why you have like Final Fantasy 7, and then you have Final Fantasy 7 2, the sequel. I didn't know that's how that worked, but now I know. Yeah, I really want to experience Final Fantasy 7 in particular because that's the one that everybody talks about enough that I thought that that's what the whole story of all the games was. But it's just a matter of time. I will say though, and I sincerely hope that you can notice and appreciate this over the coming months. This year, I really want to prioritize playing new games a bit more. My comfort approach, like more than comfort, my natural instinct is to just default to games that I'm already playing and that I've already started because I like repetition and I like consistency. But I really want to experience new games this year. And I figure you would probably like more new games to watch as well, so I hope to pick up more, whether they're new series or whether they're like one-off games. Yeah, I've got a few on deck. I don't know that I'll start too many series at once. I don't want to keep too many series open and unfinished. Because if I do too many, there's a great potential that I'll drop a few of them. But at the very least, I wanna prioritize starting a new series every now and then like playing new one-off games more often. Of course, I still want to continue playing our same 3 or 4 games that we play all the time. Yeah, that is something I want to push myself to do this year. Starting next week. Yeah, I got a game on deck for next week that I'm kind of nervous about. Any horror games? Yes, I want to push myself to play horror games as well, even if I don't personally like them. I like playing them if you're there. So I will get over it, and I will find a way to enjoy it. Can I tell you? I'll tell you at the end of the week when I figure out the rest of next week's schedule. Yeah. I don't want to give you too much of the like the more distant being like more than a few days at a time future. I like to take this stuff 1 week at a time, you know? Mystery games? Yes, actually, I'm really interested in that. There's a hidden object game that I really want to play. I don't know if I've ever described this, but I actually have a very nostalgic memory of my parents. In my childhood home, like when I was really, really, really little, my parents would have, like for their bedroom, right? It was structured in a very symmetrical way. They had their bed in the center of the room against the back wall. And then on the opposing wall, in one corner, there was my dad's desk with his computer. And then in the other corner was my mom's desk with her computer. They were pretty far from each other, but they were in the same room. And that was like their dedicated office spaces. And something they would do sometimes when they had free time is they would both play the same hidden object mystery game at the same time. And the game was to see who could finish it first. So they would not be communicating with each other about the game. They'd play the same game separately at the same time as like a mutual speed run. And I would go between the two of them, and I would look at who was further ahead, and sometimes I would help them cheat by giving them clues from the other person if somebody pulled too far ahead. When I was really, really little. This is one of my earliest memories. Yeah, so I've always had like a soft spot for hidden object games because of that. Even if I don't personally play them very much, thinking about them makes me feel very warm and nostalgic. And there's a hidden object game that is on my radar recently that I'm kind of interested in playing, but I'm not too sure yet. I have to look into a little bit more, but it was recommended to me recently. I do try to keep track of games that are recommended to me, even if I don't actually play very many new ones. I promise I do keep track of the ones that are shared with me. Or at least I try to. Yeah, recently I'm very curious about Nippets. Rather than a mystery game, I think that one's just traditional hidden object game, but I'm kind of interested in trying that one. So maybe we can stream that at some point. Could be nice. Yeah, very recent release that I'm curious about. 12 minutes? Ah, I'm not too aware. I don't know about that one. I say not too aware. I'm not aware at all. Yeah, I'm interested in playing some of those in the future as well. I want to branch out to some more game genres than just sandbox, life sim, etc. RPG Maker? Yes. I want to play some RPGs at some point too. I got to take it a little slow though, depending on the length and size of those games. I got to be kind of careful. Because again, it's in the same territory of like, I don't want to have too many series open. I also particularly have to be careful about how many games I'm playing that would benefit from me voice acting them. Because a stream where I'm giving voices to all the characters and taking it seriously is a little bit more stressful than a game where I'm just casually playing it. And in the case of an RPG, I'm going to want to give every character a distinct voice, and I'm going to want to play it super seriously, which is part of why I save a lot of games that I'm interested in. For example, on deck for me right now, I want to play Deltarune at some point soon. Like, soon as in, like, before the end of spring, I want to start it. Maybe after the next series game. I was actually thinking of doing it this month, but I figured it would be better to put it on hold for a bit. I'm also interested in playing Amori at some point. Same territory of, like, wanting to give a voice to every character. I can only have so many games going in close sequence where I'm giving a voice to everything. You know what I mean? And I want to give these games the full dedication of giving them voices. Both as like a justice to the game and also as a form of practice on my end, because I want to improve my voice acting. Yeah, just know these are games I'm very much considering and very much hoping and planning to do at some point. I just got to be very careful with how I budget my schedule, especially now. Especially now, because my voice is my most fragile commodity in these times where I have more things to work on and more things to prepare. Yeah, I hope that you can enjoy whatever comes on whatever schedule it comes. I appreciate your time, however I can get it and however we can spend it. On that note, though, I've just about run out of time. Today was ultimately always meant to be a slightly shorter walk. I do have some work that I have to get back at home. But I do appreciate that you accompanied me out here. It's a very warm day, so I hope you didn't get too sweaty or anything. Thank you so much as always for hanging out with me. I appreciate it very, very much. As for what we'll be doing for the rest of the week, I wonder, would you happen to have my schedule? I gave it to you not too long ago. Do you have it in your pocket still? By chance? Oh, you do? You tore it off? All right, let's see it. Ah, there it is. There it is. Awesome. Okay, so as for the schedule for the rest of this week, tomorrow I will be playing Splatoon 3. I'll be taking part in the Spring Fest for this year, just a little bit. It will not be too long because it's a double stream day, but I hope to fight for Team Fry, even if it's only a little bit. If you'd like to play with me, feel free to try. I'll warn you that I won't be doing regular open lobbies like usual, where I can fit in a full roster of 8. This one will be me joining the Splatfest. You can't really do it the same way, so it's really a matter of luck if you can get in, if I understand how this works. It's been a while. But I hope that whether we can play together or not, even if we're on different teams, I hope that you can enjoy it. I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've played in a Splatfest, and I really love Splatoon. So, yeah, that'll go on for a couple hours, and then I'll take a short recess, and then we'll go over to Shu Yamino's channel, the guy who likes milk before cereal, if you remember. Yeah, he'll be hosting some Jackbox games. We'll be playing alongside the Bachelors, which is a gang that I participated in, that I joined in the GTA RP, District 5. Yeah, pretty awesome. I hope you can enjoy that as well. There will be no stream POV on my end because this is Jackbox games. It's usually better as single POV. But to wrap up the week, there will be one more collab Saturday night / evening, depending on what you consider that time to be. I'll be playing Peak alongside Uki Violetta, Vantico Bringer, and Zealgin Joka / Zealgin Koka, as people are calling him recently because I made a typo, which I fixed, by the way. I fixed it. We'll be practicing Japanese, so as long as you're alive in this game, you can only speak Japanese, even if it's broken and bad. My Japanese is very weak and poopy, so I need to practice it. It'll probably be a little embarrassing at times. There will probably be incidents where I phrase things in a really awkward or clunky way, but this is how I learn. And honestly, you can produce some pretty funny moments that way. I still think about Utahime Down and Kenwa Dare. You know? Pretty funny. Yeah, I hope you can look forward to the rest of this week. Separate from my schedule, because I start my schedules on Sundays. That's when I consider the first day of the week to be. Sunday, there will also be a By the Beat collab over on By the Beat's channel. In the morning, we'll be doing a radio show. Stay tuned for more information on that. And then Saturday night, I'll be playing Pokopia. Should be a POV over here on my end. I'll be playing Pokopia alongside, I believe it was Uki, Enna, and Zeal, right? Were those the people that agreed to it? Uki was the one that organized it, so I know Uki was there. Yeah, Uki, Enna, and Zeal will be playing Pokopia. Uki's been working really hard to get their pallet town ready for company, so I'm very excited to see it. Yeah, it'll be a Pokopia collab, my first time doing multiplayer. I want to see what multiplayer in the game is like, so I'm very, very excited for this chance to play with them. The other Pokopia addicts. I may actually time my stream so that I can play solo for a bit beforehand, because the time we scheduled to play together is actually a little late. So if I start a couple hours early, maybe we can progress the story a little bit. I'm not too sure yet. We'll find out closer to Sunday, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But that's something I'm considering, so that we can hang out a little bit too before I join with everybody else. Yeah, that'll give us a little time to hang out, since it's a lot of collabs here this weekend. It just happens sometimes. A lot of these collabs were in discussion and communication for a couple weeks. And it just happens. They're like, all right, this is the best day. All right, this is the best day. All right, this is the best day. This is the best day. And then it's like back to back to back to back. Collab after collab. That's just how it turned out. So yeah, I'd like to potentially hang out without anybody else around for a little bit first. Yeah, it's either no collabs for 10 years or every stream is a collab for 2 billion years. That's my flow. And it's not by choice. If it were in my control, I'd have like maybe 1 or 2 collabs a week, and they'd be spaced very far apart. But, you know, it takes 2 to tango. Any collab is going to be at the mercy of everybody in the room at the same time. Yeah, I hope you can look forward to the rest of this week's schedule. I'll be trying my best to figure out next week's schedule as early as I can so that I don't publish it late. I've been on a bit of streak of late schedules more recently. I appreciate your patience as I figure these things out. All right. I'm going to send you over to Claude's place, if you do not mind. It looks like he's playing Mega Man. Pretty fun. Yeah, go send him some love and inspiration and fun vibes and whatnot. As always, please be polite when you're in his company. You know, don't break any rules. Be sure to read his description at the front door of his place. You know, be polite. Don't step on any toes. Don't cross any boundaries. Don't talk about me or anything we discussed today. Even if he asks, keep it short. Do not become an interruption. You know, act natural. You don't want to embarrass yourself, do you? I can trust you. You're very mature, very well behaved, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Just a little reminder is all. All right. I think that covers everything, right? There's nothing else to discuss. Nothing else to go over. Oh, you want to get close to me again? Oh, okay. Can you back up? What's your problem? Are you obsessed with me? What's your game? I just don't understand. Me back up, but you're the one that stepped up close. You're gonna walk up to me and then tell me to back up? Ugh, fine. Yeah, I do hope that you can have a beautiful rest of your day. Whether you have another walk after this, whether you go home and rest, I hope that you can get some rest at some point, all right? I hope you can have a delicious meal, as always. And I hope that you can... Whoa, hey, what's your problem? What's your problem, man? What's wrong with you? Anyway, I hope you can stay safe, all right? Take care of yourself. Don't put yourself at risk. Get some good sleep. Get some exercise. Well, I guess we've taken a walk, so maybe no exercise today after this, but just in general, take good care of your body. Reward it for keeping you moving, you know. Our bodies work so hard. We have to treat them with respect. Yeah. Same stuff as usual. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you again tomorrow. All right. Till then. Bye-bye.